What is up, guys? Call of Halo is back, and I have my lovely co host Dan here with me. Welcome to Halo's podcast, where we talk everything magic. And oh my, we have a special guest here. Dan. Dan, what have you done?
Uh, we got Coop here making a dramatic entrance.
So everyone,
What's going on?
we met Coop at MagicCon, and he is a wonderful content creator. Coop, where can they find you?
Best place to find me would be on TikTok at coopmtg, and my YouTube as well is coopmtg. So I just hit 200 subscribers on there. Go ahead and check that out and show you boys some love.
Awesome, awesome. Well, congrats on the 200. We're shooting towards for TikTok. We just hit 400 for my channel, and we're doing, and this is, I guess, where I'll announce it. We're going to be doing a giveaway at 500 followers on TikTok. I'm going to be giving away a collector booster.
Hey,
What the collector booster will be, I haven't decided yet, but it will be a collector booster pack, and it's not going to be like a Murders of Karlov Manor. We're not gonna do that to nobody. It's at the very least. I feel like we might try to get like a Innistrad remastered or some a solid set. Even if I gotta splurge a little bit and get a MH3 collector booster, we'll see what we can do. Um, I know that perked yours, huh?
I love me some MH3.
So I mean, we'll start off with. I mean, Dan, you brought our lovely guests in today, so why don't you lead our chats for the first little bit?
Okay, so we talked a little bit about it over the past since we said something about it. I'd say like 2 or 3 weeks. And when we got together at Atlanta, I asked him, you know, hey, can we get together and do some stuff later on? And he was like, yeah. So we thought that maybe since he's our first guest, we would do it in segments, basically talking about what we talked about during our first three podcasts. So the first thing that we talked about was Atlanta, MagicCon Atlanta. That was your first MagicCon as well? Yes.
it was my first one, and it was a blast. First day was a little overwhelming. Just had a lot of people, a lot of things going on. But as I started settling in, it was definitely I could have used 3 more days of it, and I would have had a blast. But definitely my first, but definitely would not be my last one. It was definitely a blast.
Yeah, we were talking about it. We're definitely going to be there again next year when it comes around. I think they said November this coming year is when they're going to do it instead of it being in September, which is cool. That kind of puts us after the Hobbit. It puts us, I think, right around Reality Fracture, which will be interesting to see. Uh, I took videos when me and Dan were coming down the escalator that day, that first day, and like that crowd was just absolutely insane.
Yes,
Like
definitely.
the amount of people I saw, I was like, dude, I was like, I don't know if I'm prepared for this. Like, I've been part of this like whole podcast thing, and part of everything was like helping me and push myself to be more like public speaking, be more push myself to talk more, be more social. Just like Magic has pushed me to be more social. Like playing Commander with random people, it makes me social. Um, I told Dan, I was like, dude, I was like, I think I might have bit off more than I can chew. I was like, there's a lot of people here, but we met a lot of cool people. Obviously, we met you. We got to meet. I got to meet Jack Patillo from Rooster Teeth.
Mhm.
Really dope dude. I got to meet Eric and Ryan, which Eric is the vocalist for I Prevail, and Ryan is the vocalist for a band called Fit for a King. They're both huge Magic players. They play. They were talking about how they play when they're on tour. One of the bands I used to hang out with, a band called Varsity, they would tell us one of the last times we went and saw them, they were like, "Yeah, Magic's band on tour. Y'all take too long." But I mean, what cool people did you meet? Any cool people like other than of course Dan here? Did you?
But yeah, of course, I met you guys. I met Joe Johnson. I met Olivia, which was just crazy, blew my mind. Um, it was I talked to Brian Kibler for a little bit. It was played a win. Talked to Cam and Dylan for a little while in line. They actually like knew me when they saw me. It was just had me
I was gonna say
in
how
another
did
world.
that feel like getting
It was
recognized by Cam and Dylan?
so it's crazy that I'm I was recognized by a lot of people, and I think it's more from my voice they would hear me and they kind of pinpointed me, and yeah, it was a moment for me because I just started my Magic TikTok um, a little bit, probably a few months ago. I would think about beginning of the year, and this is kind of one of the things that I've never really liked my voice like ever, and this was like the push for me to, you know, speak my mind, especially about something that I love, which is magic, and just to come to something that had thousands and thousands of people, and people like by name knew it was me. Strixhaven, uh, Hot Links Inn. It was a it was almost one of those moments that like kind of signified like, hey, I can do this
Yeah.
type deal just for people to know me, just for my content, the things that I do, and I don't do anything special. But yeah, I met a ton of great people, got pictures, got videos, and didn't get enough games in as I thought I would because time just flew by.
Dude, that's what we were saying. We were so like
Yeah,
we got. I think we honestly we were talking about it the other day. We got more games in at our Airbnb than we did
yeah,
at MagicCon itself with our group that we went with because we had about 5 6 people that went with us as a whole group.
yeah,
And I was like, dude, I was like, that's the one take back I have is that I didn't get enough games in with just people in general.
yeah.
And so I told Dan I was like next year, dude, it's gonna be meet the people I need straight up
Hmm.
front. Like I've got to do like a couple things with a couple artists, get some
Hmm.
stuff signed, and then it's play area, like
Yeah, exactly. And I think for me, I was just like day one. I was so consumed with all the vendors and things because it was just literally my first time, just like walking
hmm
around, seeing who I could spot and things like that. Day two was a little bit better. I sat down, and got some games in, but I know next year, come this time for MagicCon, I'm gonna have a plan for day one and knock out vendors that I want to go to. I'm actually take the time to actually get cards signed because the play group I came with, I think it was like 12 of us, but a lot of times we were split up anyway, just kind of doing our own thing. Um, Gonna make sure I get cards and stuff signed,
hmm
and then um, I'm just gonna play my heart out from the rest of day one, day two, and day three. I'm not gonna do anything but magic. That's it.
yeah, yeah. We my I told him I was like, dude, I was like, if I'm somehow, if we're somehow able to get creator badges by next year, I was like, then that's fine and dandy. I'm more than happy with that. I was like, but worst case scenario, I've already started saving so I can get Black Lotus, so I can just
Yep.
do that whole get in early. I can get with the vendors early. I can get all that done, and
Hmm.
then that entire day I can focus
Yep.
with all the events and different stuff because we tried the two events. I know the one event Dan played with you guys, I
Yeah.
think, and then we did a event where it was you had extra large like partner commanders, um,
Yeah.
and dude threw like 8 different like mechanics.
Hmm.
He we had arch enemy, we had plane chase,
Oh my God, yeah, that's right.
we had like this other mechanic that hasn't been around in a while where you basically had a co like player with you in a sense, but it was
Hmm.
in the version of a card, and
Uh,
that card player had an ability, and it had a plus and a minus on each side, where one was like you started with plus X or minus X in life, and you started with
hmm.
plus or minus in hand size.
Ah,
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah,
that's
yeah.
interesting.
and it was a really cool event. I ended up winning my event, and he was like, as a prize, you can pick whichever one of these or roll a dice. And I was like, cool. So I rolled the dice, and I got a free pre-con out of it, and it was a free event too. So free event, and I got Spider-Man packs and a free pre-con. I mean,
Yeah, you can't beat that.
nah, and it was a good pre-con too. It was the Outlaws Olivia pre-con.
Yeah, that was good. That was real good.
So the second podcast episode, Dan,
We basically just yapped about our commander and like favorite things about it, things that we didn't like, things that we wanted to see for the future. Just that one's probably going to be a little bit briefer than the MagicCon one, but like is there anything that before we move on from that, is there anything that you want to talk about MagicCon specifically? Like I know you got talked about future plans and things like that, but what experience did you have at MagicCon that like stood out the most to you
Yeah.
out of all 3 days?
I think for me, just like overall, just the different type of people that were there. It was just great to see just different walks of life, different people there coming together, and everyone's common goal. It was the same to buy packs, buy cards, play Magic, right? And it was just great to have that feeling. And for a person like myself, I never feel like I fit in certain rooms. It was definitely big for me to feel like, hey, this is like one giant like family. And like I said, it was 3 days, but the 3 days did not feel like it was enough. I needed about another week. If my pockets could supply it and the event would have been going longer, I would have stayed there for a whole week. Um, yeah, just the biggest thing, like it literally felt like Magic the Gathering. It was people coming from all over, coming together, seeing each other, taking pictures, laughing, playing games. It's like what you want. It's like almost like what we would want the world to be. That's the best way that I can put it. But
Yeah.
it was definitely like great. Like I would do it over all the way over again. I would drive the 400 plus miles again if it was
Gee.
tomorrow. I'm going to it.
Mm.
Yeah, we drove. It was. Oh God, hold on. I can tell you how far we drove. Because I still have the GPS saved.
See, I'm with you on the like time thing because I was telling them it was like we'd get there at like 10 o'clock, and then after
Yeah.
about 4 hours, it was it was 7, and it was time to go.
Dude,
It's
yeah,
like
we were.
Time to
what?
go.
Dude, yeah, we drove about like 300-ish miles to be there. So I mean, it was worth the drive. I will say that. Like, it was definitely worth the drive. The experience was something I didn't know what to expect going in. But it was definitely well worth the entire experience. And like you said,
Yeah.
if it was going on longer, I would have stayed. Like, there's no doubt about it. That was probably one of the best experiences I've had at like a convention in general.
Yeah.
Because I've done some cons, different types. You know, I've done like your anime conventions. I've done some like reptile conventions. I've done all kinds of stuff. Like, it was fairly well put together, and we had some hiccups with like lines and stuff like that for some artists and stuff like that. But they had it fixed
Yeah.
by day 2 or 3. Because I think it was day 1. We were in line for Dan Frazier. The dude walked up to me. He goes, "Yeah, the line's capped up here."
Yeah.
And I'm like, "But the rest of the line's right here, and there's no one guiding us." I was like, "It's kind of, you know, it's a little
Yeah.
frustrating and misleading." And he goes, "No, I get it." He goes, "We're gonna get it fixed up for you guys. Don't worry about it." And I'm like, "Cool, I appreciate it." And so I dispersed, like, no issue.
Yeah.
And literally next day, there was a dude at every artist that was, getting hit hard with a
Yeah.
sign telling you this is either the end of the line or the line's capped. And I was like, okay, see, I mean, they were on the spot fixing stuff. I just wish, honestly, I would have brought more money.
Me too.
Because dude, like, so the Extra Life booth took so much of my money. I don't know if you saw what they were doing, but for $25, you could reach your hand into a grab bag, and you got a collector booster out of it.
Oh
and
man.
I pulled a Bloomborough, an MH3, a Ravnica remastered, two Foundations, and a March of the Machines.
Mm.
And Dan got so excited, and he's like, "I'm gonna do it." He taps his card and pulls a Murders of Karlov Manor.
Oh no.
and,
I got a rock.
and he was so upset. He's like, "I'm not doing this shit again." I'm like,
Hey,
but
but ironically, I should have got him when I was at MagicCon, but yesterday with that whole secret layer debacle, I ended up getting two of the Play-Dohs.
Yeah, that's secret layer. I don't even want to talk about that from yesterday. I
oh
started
oh
getting
we gon'
hot and
oh we gon' talk
oh
about
yeah,
it, damn it,
That
because
will
I'm
be.
all right.
pissed.
We'll
Like,
talk about it.
because I oh god, no, I'm gonna save that because I'm gonna crash out already. Um,
We'll
like
move
like
that to the end of the video.
all I'll say is I'm in talks with a representative at Wizards, and there's no guarantee, but if I get something out of it, I will let both of you guys know, and if I get enough out of it, you guys will get something. So,
Appreciate that. 'Cause,
so, dude, yeah, you know what? Let's just talk about Commander. Let's talk about Commander. Let's not talk about Secret Layers yet.
love
So
it.
Commander as a format is what me and Dan mainly play. Is that the format that you mainly play as well?
Yep, I play 100% Commander. Been diving into CEDH a little bit, and I'm honestly enjoying it. But we can talk more in detail further.
Cool.
Uh, this
Yeah,
podcast.
so we have a couple. We have at least one. I know Henry. He's a really cool guy that went with us to Atlanta. He's he's starting his own new TikTok where he's gonna be Hank the it's like Hank the Mage or something like that. I can't remember what he said the name
Like
was.
the Enchanter.
Hank the Enchanter.
Like the
That's what it was.
Enchanter. Yeah.
And he's trying to push us to play CDEH. And I was like, you know what? It's fine. So I built shrines, and it basically you have to run land destruction if you don't want me to win, because I win off of Maze's End.
Yeah. Oh boy.
So it's I've consistently been getting it now where I can go turn 4 to turn 3 where I have enough either mana or card draw on board with land drop that I can play Reshape the Earth and just go ahead and pull my gates and go.
Yeah.
Um,
I like
he,
it, but I don't.
he's playing Master of Keys.
Oh,
So
okay.
so he's playing Master of Keys with a I think it's a Thoracle Wind that's in there.
He's got the Thoracle. He's got a lot of the like recursion stuff that either infinitely drains you life or infinitely makes a token so that
Yeah.
he'll swing out on the next turn against everybody or give them all haste or some shit like typical degenerate shit.
I don't want to hear nothing from the Eldrazi player in the group.
I'm working on it.
Has two decks, and it's Eldrazi or Eldrazi. Like,
Pick your poison.
so what's your like number one commander that you play? Like,
So right now I'm in this weird phase of like I rotate a lot
mm-hmm.
because I like to build. I like to just see a commander. I'm like, I want
I
to build
mean,
this guy and see how it works. As of right now, I've been testing Peter Parker, the band
ooh,
one,
okay.
band commander,
Mm-hmm.
and I listen. There's no better feeling than abusing a Prime Speaker Zagana for 13 because you have Galto on board, and you draw, and then you tap it with anything, and then you bounce the Prime Speaker back to hand, and you play it again, and it's like I just get to see my whole deck. It's I've been having a blast with that. I built Knuckles. There was a little debate
Ooh.
on my TikTok, but I built it like high power CEDH. Um,
Mhm.
it does pretty well. And then have some other splashy decks. I'm working on Terra Herald of Hope. I'm gonna do some things with that as well. But I'm all over the place really for decks right now. But Peter Parker is kind of like my deck that I actually want to, if y'all don't mind, I want to get some games in on Spell Table. I want to jam some more games with that one and see how it goes.
Hey, I'm not opposed. You said the magic words, so
Yeah,
who am I to decline a game of Magic?
exactly.
So I play a lot of different decks. I've downgraded myself a little bit. So I went from having about 25 decks to about I've got about 13 now.
That's a lot.
Yeah, I was downgrading a lot pre Magicon because it was getting myself to a point where I could comfortably take a bag each day and have a good variety, or I was gonna have the ability to have everything in one bag.
Yeah,
So having the everything in one bag, it just made more sense to me because it's like, what if I met up with someone that had this really cool idea? Now I don't have the deck on me.
yeah.
So I have a few decks that I main right now. My two right now is going to be Hearth Hall, from the precon from EOE. I took that deck, took it apart, and turned it into something absolutely disgusting.
Oh boy,
I never kill with commander damage. I have every game I've won with Hearth Hall, I've won by sacking all my lands.
good. I like it.
So
Yes.
so it's been a really cool deck to build. I'm still working on the land base because crazy enough for it being like a three color deck, I'm not running enough basics. Because a lot of my sack lands to search out, I'm searching out all of my basics way too quickly.
Yeah.
So it's still that work in progress for that land base. And then Dan knows my other deck that is my pride and joy right now. Dan doesn't like my other deck.
And what deck is this?
So I took what everyone at the time hated, which was Universes Beyond, and I made an entire deck that is guided by SpongeBob.
Good old Joda.
Yeah, and the entire deck is like high-powered Universe Beyond creatures, basically, and
Get it.
it's absolutely disgusting with some of the combos we found in it, like inadvertently, because like when I was originally building it, I just took apart all of my like Universe Beyond precons, and I was like, the ones I don't play anymore, and I was like, what, this one will fit, this one will fit, this one will fit, and the next thing I know, I'm like, there's a couple win cons in here,
Yeah.
and I was like, this is not good. So I put I had
More.
yeah, with Spider-Man I put more. I put my anti-venom in there. I put my Carnage. I've got my Venom from the display box. Couple of different things. And then I also built Dr. Eggman. So
I've been wanting to build the deck, and I keep looking more. I'm leaning more toward. I want to build Sonic so bad, and I look at him, and I feel like he's so bad, so I haven't touched him.
so
But
Cam built our friend Cam that's in our play group. He built Sonic very like quickly and very rushed, and he played it with me the other night. And if it's built right, like he's kind of like tuned it since then, and he's shown it to me when it goes off.
yeah,
Like he was turn 7, and this was us just playing casually. Turn 7, Sonic was lethal and just
yeah,
running face on everybody.
Yeesh.
He was like almost able to win off of just treasure tokens,
Yeah,
because he was able, right before he was gonna get Smaug off of the Saga enchantment that gives you Smaug from Lord of the Rings. I destroyed it. I was like, no, you can't do that, because when Smaug dies, he gets 14 treasures. Like, and I'm like, you already have enough. Like, stop it.
I'm
Which
gonna have
was
to add
actually
against this.
your statement about Sonic. That's actually that was the other talking point that we had in that podcast. What's a bad commander that you have that you want to build that you think you could build good? And that's Sonic is exactly what you just said.
Yeah,
I think
So like
I think Coop could build Sonic good.
what
I think I
what's your
could. It's
what you wanting to lean towards with it?
see, the thing with me is I'm trying to step out of more of my. I've always been a control player. I started out in standard. This is like 2008. I guess that might show my age, but I was a standard player for the longest, and I've always been a control player. Like in any game that I play, Dragon Ball Z, was heavy into control. Magic, I've always been a control guy. So most of my decks slowly always lean towards being some type of control variant. And I feel like Sonic himself has to be some type of aggressive build. So I'm like, I gotta figure out how to build this guy. And I feel like he puts me in the box that I have to learn how to play aggro, and I want to build him because I think the mechanic of him is cool, with flash or haste. But it's like I don't know which way to lean towards it, to be honest,
Mm-hmm.
especially when it comes to like the blue side of them. Because honestly, I don't like counter spells. I know they're good. I know there's some great ones. I don't like counter spells. I feel like they're a lot of times this is just a dead card to me. Like I know they're viable to stop a win or a combo, but I just don't like them. Um, but I don't know. I feel like I want to build Sonic just to kind of help myself grow as like a builder because I know it needs to be like aggro centric, and I honestly just don't know where to start, like at all with it.
Yeah,
Not the first card.
it's definitely a go wide, go hard deck.
Yeah.
From what my buddy Cam built, and it's definitely been like one of those things where you can't play that deck passively. Like you want to, if you're, especially if you're leaning into the haste side of things, you're wanting to do stuff that's quick, fast, efficient. So like we had, I run I dual stream, so I run a two PC setup, so I can very easily, while doing this, I can pull up on this other screen. I use a lot of EDH Rec and Architect, and I don't even really look at people's decks anymore. What I look at is what cards are synergistic.
Yeah.
So, current high synergy cards for that deck is obviously going to be your Captain Lannery Storm, your Goldspan Dragon. So, Pyrohemia, which at the beginning of your end step, if no creatures are on the battlefield, you sack it. But you can pay 1 red, and it deals 1 damage to each creature and each player. There's obviously wanting to run something like Aurelia, the War Leader, where you get those multiple combat steps. Reaver Cleaver for treasure tokens. Let's see, what else do they have? Obviously, you want your boots and stuff like that. Your Amy Rose. I mean, having a counter spell in there or a deflecting swat wouldn't be horrible.
It would be bad.
Um, and I mean, if you're building it towards that like high token focus side where you're gonna run Knuckles and stuff like that too, then run an academy manufacturer where if you're gonna create a treasure food or a clue, instead you create a treasure food and a clue. It's definitely the deck I picked that I was gonna try to build at some point, or that I feel like I can make good, was the 9 cost mono black Valgavoth, the Terror Eater. Like he's a very low rated commander, but I mean, mono black really focuses on I can play cards that he exiles from exile, and I can pay life rather than paying their mana cost. So it would be a very easy deck to build, is what me and Cam had looked at it at one point, and then me and Dan looked at it at another point for the podcast. And like, oh, which one did you say, Dan?
I got it sitting right here. It's Urtai, but he's like is this him? No, damn it. Anyway, he's black, white, blue. He's Esper, and he's literally just like a 3/4 with blue. Tap him, sacrifice an artifact or a creature, and counter target spell.
I like that. See, I like it on a creature. I think it's cool.
And we were talking about with his building in mechanics where he can untap on every, like have ways where he can just untap it at instant speed, and then he can just tap it again, and he has an infinite counter spell to an extent. The deck, one of the other thing we talked about was like, not necessarily toxic decks, but like decks that we feel like if we built them, they would be a bane to the table's existence almost. And mine was Illuge, which is mono. It's a mono blue from Bloomburrow. I think it's a sea serpent or it's a fish. So its power and toughness are equal to the number of islands that you control. Whenever it attacks or enters, you can put a flood counter on a target land, which flood counters turn that land into an island. And then for every flood counter on lands you control, I think it's instant or sorcery spells cost 1 or blue less to cast. So I told him, I was like, I wanted to build that deck around giving Illuge unblockable, but then being able to swing it or just bounce it to where it's entering multiple times, and then just sit back with a handful of counter spells.
Oh yeah, see, we're not putting that together. We can't do that.
And I was like, it's a deck that I would play literally once and be done, because I would never be allowed to play it again. Like,
you would have no friend at all.
That
You got anything like that? You got anything like that, Coop? Anything that you sit down and play that nobody would ever want to play with again?
All of my decks that I build are super fair. I think the closest thing I had was the guy's name he's escaping me. Ironclaw. He was right. Yeah. Now I built that with some degenerate cards in there. Of course, my buddies were like, "Hey, you should go the route," and the only card you're running was Worldfire. And I'm like, nah. So I'm gonna put like big Eldrazi's in, just big, just bombs that I could hit and just ditch a card to.
Yeah.
Now that deck was he was basically kill on sight. Anytime he hit the board, it just kills him off. And it's like, I see what you guys are doing here. But I knew like the power of the deck.
That's definitely. Go ahead. Sorry.
He's tough. Oh, you're fine. The deck that I'm tearing apart now, because I noticed that my table just doesn't like it, and it's not CDH level, but it's a tier grid God of Fright. And
yeah.
some games it pops off, and it just. I feel bad. I'm like, yo, I'm
so sorry. Yeah.
that all of your hands is gone. All your creatures are dead, and it's like they're all mine now. Like, what do I do? Like, I need more playmat. And I was like, yeah, I'm gonna take this apart, and I think I'm retooling it to Kirk again. That's probably like my favorite monocolor commander, like ever. But I'm gonna make him high powered as well. I'm gonna go crazy.
Yep. I only have one, I think, monocolor deck right now, and it's a deck that I'm going to be doing a tech on for my channel after I do the SpongeBob one. Because I posted my, I'm turning this into my MTG channel. What are some of my decks you would want me to, like show you guys, like show you how I built it, what my thought process was. First request was SpongeBob, obviously, and then my wife, conveniently enough, who has played a few times with me. She's not a huge Magic player by no means. We stream and play video games a lot together, but she was like, it's your hobby. At least show me how the game works. And so the very easiest way I could show her was Goblin Math with Cranko.
Goblin Man.
And it's a very simple, very budget-friendly deck. It's like $50 that I've put into it. So like not expensive whatsoever. I think the most expensive card in it would be as Sword of the Animist. And I was like, it's very easy. You turn this guy sideways and then you count how many goblins you have and you make that many more. And obviously we put impact tremors, goblin and raid bombardment in there. Because you got to have some sort of win con if you can't swing out at somebody. Because we have someone like Henry who plays his Enixthia deck, where he all of a sudden has Sphere of Safety on board, and now I'm trying to pay 50 mana per creature to swing at him. And I'm like, you know what? I'm just not going to swing at you. We're just going to turn Cranko sideways and you're dead. Like, but yeah, I think that's the only monocolor deck I have. Man, that is fucking shitty. What the fuck?
I'm building another one.
Yeah, it is. Because I am so stuck on building 5-color decks. It's bad. Like,
so fun though.
Dude, I'm building Cosmic Spider-Man right now, and it is like the entire back of this binder right here is just spider shit. Like, and I'm currently building that, and our LGS had some stuff put back for me, and I was like, cool, all right, thank you so much for holding that for me, because he had a Gwenum for me. He had dude, let's see. He held for me a Spider-Verse, Spider-Punk, the Bant Peter Parker you were talking about.
You should use the comic that we got from Atlanta as your commander when you play him as Spider-Man.
I happen to. I'm sure we put it right on the table.
That's actually not a bad idea.
We're gonna need a bigger mat.
Yeah. He held me the comic book art for Spider-Woman, Stunning Savior, I think. But Art LGS is we've hyped it up. He's asked that, like, because of how stuff's been going for us, he asked like if for a little bit we hold off on maybe name dropping the location and stuff. And I'm like that's completely fair, because it's a brick and mortar your mom and pop esque, like, kind of a card shop. Like, he runs it basically. Him and his best friend are the only 2 employees, for the most part. So I mean, he's since me and Dan have been going there, he's taken care of us. He just got in the set that I started Magic with, which will either show how young I am, or yeah. So Theros, like original Theros.
Oh man, yeah.
So that's the first set that I ever bought into. And so he messaged me. He got a bunch of booster boxes in of like some older sets, and I just see down in the bottom green, and I'm like, that's Theros. And he was like, I can give it to you at market. And I'm like, done. Say less.
Finished. He's got Oath of the Gatewatch one too, and I told him, I was like,
yeah, so he got Oath of the Gatewatch. He got and like, if I say anything that you hear that you would want, Coop, talk to Dan, talk to me. We can pick it up for you and just ship it out to you.
That sounds good to me.
Because he's he's holding me, and he's letting me pay it down almost like layaway. Commander Masters collector booster box.
Ah,
So it's 4 packs, but it's dude, I there there's got to be something good in it. Like
He's
oh
going.
yeah.
there's there's got to be some gold in there somewhere.
You gonna pull one of the 3 fancy titans. I'm calling it now.
If I do, I'll be the happiest man alive. So the sets that he got in are Khans of Tarkir. He got 3 boxes of that. He got 2 boxes of Journey into Nyx, Ravnica Allegiance, Return to Ravnica, Born of the Gods, the Oath of the Gatewatch, Rivals of Ixalan, Dragons of Tarkir, Avacyn Restored, Guilds of Ravnica, Magic Origins, Dominaria, My Theros, and then he got boxes of Fate Reforged.
He has some heat in it.
Yeah.
He
Uh,
definitely has some heat.
yeah, he's been getting like a lot of stuff in, and he's been picking up from like a couple people in the in our market area, and he's gotten some really good deals. So we've definitely been blessed with having that LGS by us. Um,
Shout out to your LGS. Y'all doing a good job.
yeah, we love it.
There's one thing that we didn't get to talk. We wanted to talk about it in that episode, but we forgot to say anything about it. Is there any specific commander that like it's so bad to the point that if you see that commander, you're just like, look, no offense, I'm not even gonna play this game. I'm gonna sit this one out.
Kennen.
Oh well, there's my answer too because
Kennen,
So
he,
it for me. It's the experience I had with a player. It's not even the card at this point. It's the experience I had with the player. So the dude sits down at our table. He was a regular at that LGS at the time, and we all let each other know if we're playing proxies, because if we're playing a proxy deck, that means we're going to be playing higher powered, and we're going to be moving towards something else. And this guy goes, yeah. He goes, I just bought and built this Kinnan deck. I don't know how it works. I just want to try it out. And I'm like, cool, yeah, that works. No worries. I'll just play, X, Y, or Z. I don't even remember what I played that day. It was the one and only game I played that day, because I got so mad I left. But he didn't tell us that the entire deck was proxies, and he won on turn 2.
uh, yep, that sounds like Kennen. Kennen is winning.
And I'm like, you said this wasn't high powered. You also were like, and I didn't even know when I left. I was just really frustrated with one, my day, how that day was, just with work and everything else. And so I was like, you know what? Maybe it's best if I just take the day, collect myself. It's just a game. Let's not get too crazy mad about it. But I need to separate myself from this situation. And my buddy calls me not even an hour later. He goes, so tell me why this dude sits back down with another deck, starts playing OG dual lands, and I go, are those real? He goes, no, they're proxies. And that led to
Yeah,
the conversation of him telling us the entire Kennen deck was proxies. And I'm
yeah,
like, bruh. Like, we don't care that you play proxies, but if we're
mm,
playing high power, just alone, if you're gonna play high power, tell us.
yeah.
Like,
Just say it. Yeah,
and I should have known better seeing Kennen, but I'm so green coming back into Magic that I didn't know what I was looking at until it was too late.
yeah, yeah, yep. Kennen is buddy of mine. Shout outs to him. He's played Kennen as CDH, and it's it's tough. It's especially because in my thought process on it is that Kennen can actually beat skill at the table. Like you can be spot on with everything that you play, every counter spell, every piece of removal, as the other three in the pod, and then it just takes Kennen to just spin one time, and it's like it doesn't matter how good you are, Kennen as a card just makes it just it doesn't matter. Kennen just always. I won't say that it puts me in a bad mood, but it's definitely like just makes me sigh. Like, oh, I'm about to play against Kennen again, and I just sigh, and it kind of puts. I think it honestly plays like a mind game at the table too, because anyone that sees Kennen's like, man, and then you feel bad for like targeting the Kennen off, but it's like you kind of have to because he sticks around. All it takes is a Simic Signet or anything, and it
Oh,
just
dude,
pops
yeah,
off, and it's
you know,
something
yeah,
good.
it literally like he had a I think he had like a Simic Signet, or he just had a mana rock on board, and he was like, all right, so I have infinite mana, and I'm like, the fuck did you just say to me? And
Yeah,
I'm like looking at his board, trying to comprehend what I'm like looking at, and then when he shows me, he shows me the cycle, I'm like, this is stupid. Like, what do you
yeah.
mean this is not high powered? I was like, buddy, this is turn two.
Turn two Assault Monolith
Yeah,
just
no,
taps for
literally,
four, and it's
that
like
literally, like,
it's but
it's
if
just
if I had to choose a card outside of Kennen that has, I won't say that I don't mind playing against it, but it is if it's high powered. I don't know if you've ever played against Mimnarch
oh,
ever.
fuck off. Yeah, no, dude.
Oh my goodness. Just having all your stuff turned into artifacts and just taking it's like
You don't get to play the game
and
anymore.
it's
You don't get to play Magic.
you don't even
Like,
get to play. And it's like I don't want to be that guy and just like scoop, but it's like, do I really sit with having no lands or no anything? Do I just sit and like pass my turn? I'm like, no, I can't do it. But Kennen and Mimnarch and Nekuzar, when it's juiced up,
yeah,
everything hurts. Play a land, you take damage. Play a land, you draw a card, or you get pinged for five. All these different crazy things.
yeah,
But
it's, dude. Yeah, so Kennen for me is definitely my, like, I wouldn't even say Kennen's my number one if I'm being honest, because like it's just that one bad experience with, that just kind of put a bad taste in my mouth for the card. And then after watching other people's builds and seeing like different Kennen decks, I'm just like, dude, this is oh my god. Like
yeah,
I think honestly, and it's a specific version of this deck. But and he's gonna think I'm saying this because he runs it, but I used to run this deck too, and it pissed me off. But running an Ulalek deck with like 60 million triggers,
yes,
I hate it from both sides of the field after playing it, and that's honestly part of the reason why I broke it down, was because
hmm
and he can attest to this more than anyone, but like, I'll just lay the board state I had for you the last game I ever played with it. Like Ulalek on board, Zuladoc on board, Echoes of Eternity, or Echoes of Eternity, um, Roaming Throne,
yeah,
and I go and cast
yeah,
a big Eldrazi. So I'm casting Ulamog the Defiler. So I'm getting his cast triggers doubled. I'm
hmm
getting his cast triggers now quadrupled, and then quintupled, and then I'm
yeah,
paying into Ulalek.
yep,
Ulalek copies that stack, which Echoes of Eternity sees and copies his copy, and I'm just sitting here and I'm like, why do I have
yeah,
like 50,000 Defiler? All right, everyone exile half their libraries, rounded up like 60 million times, like,
yeah.
like it's
Last turn.
no,
Yep.
literally, and
That's all you
it's
need to do.
but it's that for me is a frustrating deck to play against, because it's partially my fault too, because I don't play a lot of removal.
Mhm.
I personally just like to see stuff go off,
Yeah,
and if I'm playing more on the non-casual side, I have decks with removal, but like a lot of the times I don't play a lot of it, so I'm like, I don't have a lot of answers to what's currently happening right now. So
yeah,
I just have to sit back, relax, and enjoy the ride, which is not fun whatsoever. And then I mean, I guess, I mean, we're you did three, so I'm gonna do three. So we've got Kennen, Ulalek, the Mole God.
yeah. I know that card.
So so so
He's actually one of the only things that I got out of the is the Murder of Karlov Manor pack.
yeah, so this dude says basically when he swings, if you block him,
Mhm.
everything untaps. There's another combat.
Yep.
Oh no.
And then you can pay 3 generic, 2 red, and 2 green, and he has to be blocked. He's an 8/4.
Mm.
And
So
that as a commander, we have a guy that plays has a deck built around him as the commander and has made it a
Yeah.
Voltron deck. And
Yeah.
um and the only way we've ever made the dude stop playing it was we had a dude um that had an indestructible card, and he forced the fight every combat. So they were infinitely locked in a battle that would never end. And I was like, dude, I was like, this is crazy, because you're Voltroning, you're forcing me to either you're gonna wipe my board by coming through and hitting everything, or I have to take
Yep.
22 commander damage.
Yep.
Like,
And be out the game.
and be out of the game. Like, either way, I lose here. Like, it's such a not fun deck to see, especially when it's properly built. Because when it's properly built, that creature's gonna have that mole's gonna have indestructible. It's gonna either already be unblockable, or it's gonna force you to fight it, which is gonna kill your board. And it's not that fun to be around.
I get it. And it's only a 4 cost. I just looked them up. I
Yeah.
was like, I see where that can be a problem.
Yeah, and it's a 8/4. Like, like your base power is 8 on a
Yeah.
commander. Like, that's ah.
I don't think that there's anything, because I don't really scoop. I've been playing a lot of like ranked on arena, and like I don't even scoop if I know that the shit's not going to turn out. I will say this, Coop, you probably feel targeted out because you've mentioned both of these. Turgid, I don't
Mhm.
like playing against somebody who takes my shit and
Yeah.
beats me to death with my shit. That's
Yeah.
my shit. That's for me. That's for me. And then like, what is it? Grand Arbiter Augustine stacks things that make me not be able to play the game.
I'm gonna cover my eyes because I love that commander, and I'm so close to rebuilding it. But it's in Spider-Man right now,
I,
so
I, I,
we're leaving it in there.
I think one of my favorite moments with the Grand Arbiter was, I think it was Voxy was playing with I think it was Voxy, the Prof, Moist Critical, and someone else for one of the Tolarian Community College videos. Um, and Voxy goes and plays Grand Arbiter, and granted, she doesn't read the card. She doesn't know what it does
Yeah.
100% of the way. And Prof's there complaining about it. And she's like, "What are you talking about?" And even like Charlie goes, "What are you talking about?" He goes, go read the card." And he reads it. He goes, "Oh, you absolute monster!" Like,
Yeah. Yeah. Grand Arbiter GA4 is ridiculous. I love that card.
um, I love the treatment they did with it with the Fallout Secret Lair.
Mhm. I
That
didn't
was
get it. I'm thinking about buying one, but someone had to have one for me.
yeah.
I think
It's
when I first got back into Commander a couple years ago, it was start playing Hawkball again, Merfolk. I've always loved Merfolk, and I was playing Grand Arbiter, and that was just
Mhm.
because I was like fresh back into the game.
Right.
So further along as I started playing and building my collection and stuff back up, and I'm like, yo, Grand Arbiter would be crazy right now. Like stacks
Mm-hmm.
effects are absurd, and yeah, GA is one of those guys.
GA. So his Fallout one,
Mhm.
market on it in rainbow foil is $14.
That's not bad.
Yeah, yeah. TCG has a 43 listings at $14 or a little higher. So yeah, I see a few here. lightly played for $15, shipping included from East Coast Gaming. Um, so I mean it's not a badly priced card. Unlike some secret layers that bastards.
Cough, cough.
Um, uh, just to temporarily divert to that. It's that demonic tutor's market value right now is $200.
Yeah,
Jesus
I'm
Christ.
so mad.
Ugh.
Like, I was just trying to get a non-foil, and I'd have been fine because I don't own a copy of Jupiter.
So
Destiny
that's
wanted
that's
one so
that's
fucking
what we were
bad.
saying. Is like demonic tutor in any treatment, foil, non-foil, for 30 or $40.
Yes.
That was such a good deal.
The other thing is I feel like, okay, I was thinking about this, right? And I'm conspiracy theorist to the bone. They did this already with the tragic romance. This happened already before, and they were like, we're gonna do an artist set, right? But it's not really gonna be about the art. It's gonna be about a specific card that everybody's gonna want. And I think in that one it was Kalia.
Yeah, because Kalia shot up. Because I did get that one, so that's where I kind of don't necessarily agree that it was the same kind of issue, because I was able to get one, order it, and have it shipped, and then go back in and try to order another one, like that, just to have for my personal. That one didn't sell as quickly, and we also didn't have the issue where people were exploiting what they were exploiting, which we'll get into later. To get in here. And I'm at the point now where I'm like, if I'm gonna spend $200 on a demonic tutor, I'm just gonna wait and spend $500 on an alpha, and like just save up my money, and get something really cool to have. And what I'll do is I'll just proxy the demonic tutor into most of my decks, and I'll just have the alpha sitting sealed in like a vault, and I'll be like, I have it. I just don't want to play it because it's an alpha.
Yep.
Speaking of the secret layers and the Grand Arbiter Augustine, the one that you were talking about, that's the one that's from Universes Beyond, right?
It's technically the art is, the card is not, but the treatment that they did for it would be considered Universes Beyond, I think.
That was the third episode that we did. So, Coop, what are your thoughts on Universes Beyond and how things are progressing?
And now we can officially talk about the announced set from Comic-Con, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, baby.
I'm excited for TMNT. It's I think that Universe Beyond is good. I don't feel like it should make up a complete block for a year. Um,
The New York City block.
it puts me in a. I like different IPs. I like certain things crossing over. I think it's always going to be like super cool. I would feel that, and I don't know if Wizards of the Coast they really dive into the community and what they want to see when it comes to certain things, or if they kind of have it set to what's going to be hot, what's not going to be. I feel like with Spider-Man, it didn't get got more flack than I think it should have gotten. But I feel like an IP like Marvel, you should have been going crazy. Like it's almost like how Fallout was. Fallout was amazing. I loved Fallout. All the commanders from it, everything felt very good to me. But I feel like Spider-Man is very like for what the IP is very like it's like shoulder shrugging. It's like it's okay. There might be a few cards here and there
So
for
the thing that with Fallout, I wanted to like just that was one of the points that I had made. Fallout was like that Universes Beyond set, but it felt okay
yep,
only being commander decks and collector boxes.
yep.
Like the set the Spider-Man set, there's a lot of product
There's no
for
commander
a
decks.
not no commander decks. There's no it like you were saying, somebody else compared it to Aftermath and Assassin's Creed, where it's like there's a lot of people from the universe in there, but it's so flooded and not a lot of it's really good that it just kind of felt very underwhelming.
Yeah, it did feel that way, and I think because they brought so many people into it, like the Craven legendaries, like this guy sucks. You got Doc Ock. There's just so many characters that they brought in.
Mm-hmm.
I think honestly they could have fleshed out a lot of these guys, like Hydro Man and the Sandman. It's like these aren't even like main villains in like the universe. Like Craven should have been like pretty good. I would, in my opinion, as a legendary. Um, Black Cat. Um, I think they flooded us with so much because they felt like that was what was needed because it's Spider-Man, the Spider-Verse. When I feel like they should have like streamlined, like Spider-Man should have been like one of the main ones. I'm upset that they didn't give Miles Morales more for him being one of the main characters now in the Spider Verse. Gwen, Venom, Carnage. Those should have been like if we're going like Spider Man, good or bad. Those should have been like the bombs in Spider Man. Like yo, this card is insane. And of course we have like anti venom and things like that. It feels like we were given a lot of nothing in a sense of if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And hopefully it's not going to be on that path of like, okay, the avatar is going to be good, right? Because we had a flop, so now we're going to make sure the avatar is good. And then the next set is kind of like, I just hope we don't go through this vicious cycle of our universes beyond. Like we see the pattern of what it's
Mm-hmm.
going to turn out to be, and I hope they just dive into the community a little bit more. Like, yo, what do y'all really want to see? Like, what do you want to see? And I feel like with it being Universes Beyond, these cards should be powerful. It should not be like just a collector thing. Like, it should be to the point like, hey, these cards are like nukes. You want to play these cards because I think at the same time it's like with Commander, you have X, Y, and Z staples that you see that aren't going to go anywhere. I feel like there should be some cards that maybe rival some of these cards, like Ristic Study, maybe even at a price point type deal, because Ristic Study is expensive for a lot of people. I still don't own a copy, and I feel like Universe Beyond could print some cards that could be maybe not as good, but good enough as like a replacement
Yeah.
effect for some cards. And overall, that was a long rant for me. I like Universes Beyond, but I just feel like they should make it consistently good because they've been at this thing of creating cards and creating sets long enough. They should be able to see these cards and like, yo, this card sucks. We're not putting this in. Like they're making millions of dollars off of people buying product because they want cards to be either a collectible or playable, right? And
Right.
if you're not making these cards really collectible or playable, like what are you making them for? So I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm almost kind of in the middle with Universe Beyond.
Yeah, so my thought process was that I personally felt that Universes Beyond is good for Magic. It's bad for our wallets. Um, and when I say that, I mean like not that we're buying so much of it that it's bad for our wallets, but that the price gouging for product is so astronomical that it physically hurts to even attempt to purchase things. So like for example, like when the collector boosters for Spider-Man before they tanked and got to an actual reasonable value now. Before that, I mean, you were looking at pre-orders of like $900 for a
Yeah.
collector booster box of stuff that you might pull $300 worth of stuff out of.
Yeah.
And I found that in absolutely absurd, but at the same time, all these IPs are bringing new players in because you've got people that are like, ooh, Spider-Man cards? Ooh, I'd love to build something with that and kind of learn how to play. Ooh, Avatar. I've got a friend of mine that is strictly coming into Magic now because of Avatar.
Okay.
And Eventually once you get in, you're like, oh, there's all these other cool cards, and that's when you start divulging into the entire Magic lore and everything. And I used to play Yu-Gi-Oh competitively. We did natties. We've been and visited and done a worlds before. But to see that community and how it's like dying,
Yeah.
but Magic is thriving and is pushing so hard. And I mean, I haven't noticed a drop in players. I've noticed more of an increase.
Yeah.
So I mean, I feel like Universes Beyond is what's gonna keep Magic alive to a certain extent. I feel like Wizards has to find that small, like, it's that fine like line in the middle where they're not overdoing it, where they're like, oh yeah, this year it's all Universes Beyond. Like, no, don't do that.
Yeah, can't do that.
Don't do that. Like, the 3-3 I'm cool with, and I get that they had to add an extra set this year because they pushed Lorwyn in. But if they pushed, my whole thing is they were telling us that they pushed Lorwyn in to this year, which is why we have 7 sets, but we still have 4 Universes Beyond sets.
Yeah.
Like, so that's still not the 3-3 that we would have had last. If anything, that means we would have had 4 and 2 before Lorwyn got pushed in. So, but now that TMNT is announced, and I've seen some of the cards, I'm very excited for it. I've already ordered the Commander deck. I'm not happy with that MSRP.
Didn't even check the pricing on how much was it.
So I ordered mine. First one I ordered through Amazon, through Magic's actual Amazon page, which is where you can get a rough good idea of MSRPs for stuff and what stuff's going to be. It was $70.
Okay.
But it's a 5-color deck that it looks like they've done, if all the TMNC or TMC stuff that I saw, like with the reveals, because usually when they do the TMC, that's the C part means it's part of the Commander deck.
Yeah.
So some of that stuff that I saw for that deck, like, I get that those treatments that they showed us probably aren't the treatments in that deck. If they are, then I am well happy with the $70 I paid. But if they're not, so be it. Those cards are still really good.
Yeah.
Like a 5-color TMNT deck just makes sense.
Yeah.
Just like if they were to do an Avatar deck, I would expect Aang to be 5-color.
Mm-hmm.
But like $70, I wasn't too pleased. But I was like, you know what? It's not as bad as when I tried to get Final Fantasy. And
Yeah, Final Fantasy was rough. I just bought Terra yesterday. I saw it at Walmart. Saw some of the pre-cons, and I was like, I didn't think these would be back on shelves. So I went and copped one. Didn't want to pay the price, but it had some good stuff in it that made it kind of worth getting. So.
yeah, I only picked up Cloud and Y'shtola. That's the 2 decks I picked up were Cloud and Y'shtola. Cloud, very fun Voltron deck. The fact that I already have a Colossal Hammer in the deck, or Colossus Hammer, like it's a nutty deck as a pre-con. Y'shtola, I'm working on trying to figure out what I need to do to work on it, because it's a good deck out of box, but it needs a little tweaking to be effective with what she wants to do. But I mean, the universe, like Final Fantasy, was such a travesty in my opinion with trying to get product, let alone what I had to pay for it. And that's my biggest gripe, I guess, about Universes Beyond as a whole. Like, Secret Lair, set wise, any of it. Like, I just feel like it's a very hard to justify price point for a lot of the stuff they're doing. Like, our LGS, someone sold it to him under market, I think, because he's selling it at market. So he's either taking a loss on it, or he's, breaking even, or he had to have gotten it a little under market. But he has a collector booster box of Final Fantasy that just came in, and it's sitting at like 13.
I was eyeballing it the other day.
Yeah, I can't justify $1,300 for 12 packs. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's a little
But
much.
but one of the neon Pokebos is in there. You know it.
Don't give a fuck.
It's in there.
Don't give a
It's
fuck.
in there, bro.
If you
It's in
could
there.
if you could 1,000% guarantee that it's a graded 10 black Chocobo, then I would buy it, because I would instantly know that my money was there. The risk right now is not worth the reward. We have only opened one solid thing, and it's on my TikTok. We had a guy at our LGS bought a collector booster box of Spider-Man, and he was like, "Do you want to open this on your channel?" I was like, "Absolutely. Why the fuck wouldn't I?" 4 packs deep, pulled the symbiote Amazing Spider-Man. And I like holding that in my hand. I was like, I need a sleeve. I need a top loader. I need like
an inhaler. Give me some.
I need help. Sorry, I have 2 dogs. I have the Shepherd Husky you saw earlier, and my pit bull. So my pitty, who's probably on his, no, of course not. I snap my fingers and this one appears. So, but you know, I can't justify spending that kind of money. And like, where were we? It was one of the tables. I think you were with me at MagicCon. It was one of the tables had the Lord of the Rings Special Edition collector boosters.
Yes.
And those are like $250 a fucking pack. Because of how expensive they are, and that's the ones where you could only get like the scroll treatments and certain things in them, I think. And I was asking the dude, I was like, dude, that's crazy, the price. He goes, yeah, man. He goes, if you're really feeling spicy, he just turns and does this, and there's like 5 sealed boxes of them. He goes, they're like, he's like, they're like $5-6 grand, man. I'll hook you up real good. I'm like,
not me.
Not me.
Hooking me up
You're
real
not,
good.
No. You know what? We're gonna circle back. We're gonna circle back to MagicCon now that I've thought about it. I saw something there, and I'm gonna ask you, Coop. What was the most expensive thing when you were walking at vendors that you were like, whoa, that's here?
I saw some pictures of some dual lands that they had. I took pictures actually, and looking at the prices, I'm like, there's no way people are buying this stuff. And then someone proved me wrong and ended up picking up 2 of the cars like right beside me. They were like $5 grand, and I was like, yo, there's no way.
Yeah.
Between some of the cards and some of the cases, I think it was CMC Games. They were selling Spider-Man like suitcases for like $500 a piece.
Oh yeah, those were blind boxes. So they had like a shit ton of like stuff in them. Like one dude pulled a legendary. So like I think that's what 3rd, 4th edition, or something like that. He pulled a legendaries pack out of his. He pulled like a bunch of stuff, and the most expensive card I saw, a Beckett 8.5 Lotus.
How much was that going for?
$115,000.
Jesus Christ.
And I didn't think to get a picture of it at the time, but dude let me hold it. And I'm like, he's like, you have to stand right here within arm grabbing distance, but I will let you hold it. And I'm like, okay. So I'm literally shaking, like holding this like $115,000. Like, dude, what is happening? Like, that was so insane to me that it was that price. Like,
Yeah, I
oh
don't even
my
think if I
god.
had 115 grand just to like, it didn't go towards anything, I would spend it on that
A
just to
piece of
have it.
cardboard.
The only thing
Yeah.
I could say to that is like I would want to find one that looks good that's ungraded, and I would have immediately walked my ass to Beckett.
Mm,
And because you got to think, if you're buying that card raw, a couple $1,000s, maybe into the tens, 20s. But as soon as you hit a 8.5, so not even like a 9 or a 10, you're at
yeah.
115 bands. Like,
Mm,
that's on a what I think it was $125 a card if you're doing like under 4 cards there for same day grading,
yeah.
which was in like I almost got a card graded, but I decided to sell it instead because I had a promo stamp version of Vivi from Final Fantasy when I did my pre-release, and
Yeah.
found someone there that was willing to pick it up. So I mean, shout out to them for that, because that shit's about to get banned. Um,
Yeah.
it's either that or it's gonna be Agatha's Soul Cauldron, because
If
that
you had to choose out
combos
of the two,
Soul Cauldron,
yeah.
hundred
If you had
percent.
to choose out of the two, Soul Calder.
100% Soul Cauldron. Like I know a lot of people are like Vivi's the problem. I'm like, Vivi's not the one making a million copies of herself. Like,
Nah.
it's Agatha's. Agatha's is
Mm,
making the copies, which is then making it a problem. So if you're gonna
yeah.
ban something out of that combo, ban Agatha's. But yeah, no, Universes Beyond, dude, it was not. It was not a
Well,
the
like I said in the video that we did, which I don't even think it's not out yet, right? As at the time, like it really matters right now because this one ain't out yet neither. But
no at time of recording, it is not out yet. I got super sick, ended up in the hospital over the last week. So this is one of my first days back home. So I have not had the opportunity to even touch editing it. So
I just feeling better, man.
hey, I mean, we're getting there. I gotta go pick up some new meds. I have chronic kidney stones, and one just put me down real bad. I had my kidney functions extremely high, and they were worried I was gonna have to have an intervention surgery. But ended up that the meds they gave me got me going to where I could get it taken care of myself. So it's crazy how a 3 millimeter object can cause a body so much pain, bro. It's
Yeah.
insane. But
fucking
but no, it's not out yet. No.
damn, in that video episode, I was talking about it, and like everything that Rosewater said when universes come out, everything that they've said, each time that they've said something, they've kind of went back on it. Like the first one that it came out, they were like, "It's modern legal." The Lord of the Rings. We won't do anything that'll be standard legal this year. Spider-Man,
Everything.
Avatar.
Yeah.
Hey, by the way, UB is standard legal now.
Yeah.
He said that thing about the ratio. There will never be more universes beyond sets than there are in universe sets. Based off of what we have now, even like he said, with the Lord One set being pushed up, we got a 4-2 ratio here. I was saying that I thought that like it's good to bring in money, universes beyond. It's good for the money side of Magic, but for the actual game play, I think it's bad because we end up with like the Assassin's Creed set where it's Assassin's Creed, but it's kind of ass. It's ass Assassin's Creed. And like the Spider-Man one, it's like I think what's the total number of cards in the Spider-Man set? It's like 200 and something. But a regular set is almost 350.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like a they said that because there are no commander decks, the size of the set is reduced. And and they were, I guess they were saying like they wanted to focus on flavor and stuff like that, but yet you gave me, in my opinion, a semi-bland set. So
And then
you reduce the product you're giving me to make it better, but then you don't make it better.
it's starting to feel very
Cash grab?
generic. Like, okay. Look at Cosmic Spider-Man. What does Cosmic Spider-Man do? 5-color commander, shit ton of keywords, gives all your spiders
Shit ton of.
the shit ton of keywords.
Yeah.
What is the 5-color commander for TMNT? The 5-color commander, shit ton of
Oh,
keywords, gives your mutants, ninjas, and turtles
plus one, plus
a shit ton of
ones.
keywords.
Yeah, it gives them plus one, plus
Right?
ones.
It feels very bland and generic. Like, hey, let's just give the same thing to everybody so that everybody's happy.
It's not.
Hooray!
It's not mechanically unique.
Yeah, you might as well just play Joda.
Yeah,
Just saying.
yeah.
Hey. Listen.
Are you
Listen.
ready, kids?
So with that all being said, and we're talking some of what we're about to talk about is related to Universe Beyond, but the other won't be, and that's going to be secret layers.
Yep.
So as of day of recording of this, yesterday, some really dope secret layers dropped, but some really fuck shit happened with that drop. So to give my experience, get in line. I did the whole. There's two ways you could do it, and I didn't realize that. So you could have put like a Play-Doh. When there's 45 minutes until the stuff drops, you could have put a Play-Doh in your cart and go to checkout, and you would have been held there. So you would have been technically at the front of the line, still had that 10 minutes to grab your shit and go. I didn't do that. I waited until it dropped, and the second it dropped, I hit the button and hit checkout, and then you can open up another tab and add stuff to your cart while you're waiting in line, which is what I did. I had to wait it said an hour at first. So we get down to like 10 minutes. Nothing sold out yet. We're looking really good. Then my time shoots back up to an hour.
Yeah.
And I'm like, the fuck just happened?
Yeah.
And unbeknownst to me, I didn't know that there was this like whole exploit that people were doing where if and this is completely hearsay, I will say that. However, I have had it from multiple reputable sources. Tapped out MTG. I even messaged him, and he got back to me, and he said that his sources were reputable for his experience with it. Basically, what happens is, let's say me, you, and Dan are here, and we're all sitting together. We're waiting in line. I get in to checkout. I can send you a link to my checkout. If you open that link, you are now good to go. And you have jumped the line. So scalpers were jumping the line, and that's what set everyone back.
Oh.
And there's no parameters, there's no guidance for that. There's no like real way to fix that exploit to my knowledge. And so I've been chatting back and forth with and I'm still waiting on a response. So I've been chatting back and forth with the secret layer side of Wizards. So I've basically explained to them what happened. I've got evidence of what happened. And I'm like, how is this fair to us who had it in our carts and actually did the right thing, but you're rewarding these guys with this? Because what literally can happen is I can finish my checkout, or not finish my checkout. I can wait. Dan can finish his checkout. I can send him the link again. He can jump back in again and jump ahead of the line again. Like it's
Yeah.
and buy more, because it's 2 per order. So he could come in again and order 2 more. Come in again, order 2 more. Come in again, order 2 more. And now that artist series is sitting at like $400 if you want the whole artist series. And it irritated the absolute fuck out of me, because I don't understand why we're doing it this way.
Yeah.
Like,
money.
Well, yeah, and I mean, I at the end of the day, that is what it is. But luckily, I got so mad that like half my cart was gone that I canceled my order. So I still had my Furby stuff. I still had at the time I had my Dwight stuff because I'm a huge Office fan. I love Dwight. It pained me so hard to close that card out,
Yeah.
but I had to out of sheer principle. I had to. I'd rather give my money to like I think Dan said he ordered two of them, and I think we're gonna work something out for one of the Office ones.
Yeah.
If anything, if he's wanting to sell both, I might try to get both, buy both off of him, and keep one in my personal sealed and open one, and put the Reaper King in SpongeBob. Um,
Yes, I like what you
No, I'm
did.
not
That's
selling
good.
them to you. No, I'm not. You're not getting them now.
You knew this all along. You knew what the plan was from the second they announced it.
I had hope.
You're right. I'll just build a Reaper King land destruction deck.
Yes, that's better.
All right. Got to throw a Recyclops in there. But like that whole situation just put such a bad taste in my mouth that I can honestly say like there is a 1% chance, like, because I will never say there's a 0% because you got to leave room for like if like these guys actually come through and be like, you know what, we are so sorry this happened to you, here's a couple of the artist series and foil and non-foil to compensate you for the fact that you got screwed over, or here's the opportunity to even buy them. Fuck it, if you give me the opportunity to send a transaction between us, I'm cool with that because you have still rectified the situation. If something comes through with these guys and they're able to at least give me some sort of insight that either they're going to help me out with getting this problem fixed, or they can ensure that it's not going to happen when the PlayStation drop happens, then I might consider. But right now, there's like a 1% chance that I'm ever going to buy a Secret Lair again from Wizards themselves,
Yeah.
because that whole experience yesterday ruined my whole view on them as a company, because you're limiting these items to, that's fine, but you should have noticed that people were getting sent back in line, and there's this huge outcry from the community. And there's one person like talking about putting up like a class action suit for whatever reason. I don't know what he could do with that or what reasoning he could have behind it, but like more power to the guy.
Yeah.
But like there is such a huge outcry from the community, and they've said nothing. Like as of my last checking, they have made no public comment on the simple fact that hundreds and thousands of people were basically taken advantage of, and not, were screwed over because they didn't get even an opportunity. There was no real opportunity there with people scamming the system.
Yeah.
So, I've that's kind of had me lose faith in Wizards and Secret Lair. So, that's just my 2 cents.
I usually don't push too much on secret layers just because it feels like there's a lot that goes on there's a lot of secret layers going on, and it's kind of hard to keep track of everything.
Mm-hmm.
And just like having the money on demand, especially when you have things like family and bills and things like that. So sometimes it makes it very hard. I did enjoy when they had the secret layer drop for Sylvan Library.
Mm-hmm.
Set Ghost, that set, because it was just print on demand, and I was like, oh great, I can finally be in this. But yeah, definitely they need to work on their systems, because they want people to buy this stuff, but then yeah, taking away the opportunity for them to be able to buy it because of people just doing outlandish things just so they can have it all, being greedy. Um, it definitely put a bad taste, you know, in people's mouths. And I know the only card I really wanted was the demonic tuner, because I was just like, yo, the art looks cool. And I was like, the other 3 cars just go in my bonded. That's fine. And I had to wait on my phone. And I'm a mechanic, so I'm working on cars. I'm going back, I'm checking, and next thing you know, it's like sold out, and I'm like, I didn't even get a chance to. Just not having the chance was like the crappy part of it all.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, while I was in line, I was thinking about it. I was like, I figured that if anything sold out first,
Mhm.
it was going to be the artist series because of
Yeah.
the demonic tutor,
Right.
right? It blew my mind that the everything bundle
Yeah.
and the foil Eddie's everything bundle that was like a foil copy of the
Yeah.
biggest ones in there.
Those were the first two to sell out.
Those are first two to
Yeah.
sell out. The everything bundle was like $670. Who the fuck is dropping $200,000
So
at a time?
I can tell you, like, Dark Entities, which is a card shop, bought 2 of them because they posted that they bought 2 of them. And it's a value there because they discount heavily if you buy that huge bundle. Like, yes, it's $600. That's not a small asking price. But if you're buying everything in foil and non-foil, because the everything bundle, you get a copy of it in foil and non-foil. You get one of everything in both. So for $600, it's not that bad.
No.
Like, price point wise, if you're looking at secret layers. Now, when it comes to secret layers, my biggest gripe between the whole debacle of trying to even buy one is, like, some of the stuff they're reprinting. Like, you're wanting me to pay $50 for a Soul Ring, a command tower, and like this and that. Like, I can go buy all that stuff for $5,
Mhm.
and you're wanting me to pay 50 to 60 depending on what treatment you're doing.
Yeah.
Like, if you're gonna do a secret layer, do it like the Jaws one, where Jaws is mechanically unique. Like, do it where if you're gonna do reskins, do reskins. Like, Grand Arbiter was a good idea. Like, the Fabled Passage, at that time that they reprinted Fabled Passage and Reliquary Tower and stuff like that, those arts were cool and they weren't that expensive. But just the pricing and the cards they're picking just sometimes don't add up. Now, the Demonic Tutor, that was an instant dub for the community. Like, I just really wish that we would have, as a community, had an opportunity to acquire it.
This is the part where I'm talking about. Like, I think there might be a little bit of a conspiracy to it. I'd be willing to bet that the next time that they do another artist secret layer like that, they're gonna put a pretty big card in there, like demonic tutor, to see if it does the same thing.
I mean, it's going to, and at the end of the day, like, I'm I'm never gonna do these, like, line skip things and stuff like that because I've had it happen to me. Why would I want to do it to someone else? Like, it's not fair to me that it happens, so why should it be fair that I do it to someone else? And these guys are just, in my opinion, these guys are just scumbags. Like, I mean, like, I get it. Like, some content creators are posting that they did it to make sure they got their secret layers, and I'm like, don't.
So
If we don't support their system, if we don't buy, then they will make a change to try to get us to buy.
They'll have to fix it.
And the biggest change they can do is stop selling basic land secret layers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I went. You can add, like, since the episode's not out yet at the time of us recording this. Like, Dan knows I went on a, like, 20-minute tangent, like, just absolutely berating, like, wizards and secret layer. Like, why do you want to charge me $50 for a foil set of 5 lands?
Yep.
Because it's not like you're giving me a good full set of, like, 20 lands or something like that. You're giving me 5. Sometimes it's 1 of each color. Like, no.
And I have a buddy of mine. He's he started in the beginning of the year, but he's collecting every basic in full art, foil, secret layer, all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Now the binder looks amazing. Of course, he had to buy the symbiote ones,
Mm-hmm.
and but it's like he dropped what $60 I think for the foil ones, and I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't do it. I would not. But the
You.
binder looks good. But yeah, putting basics as a secret layer is like, but why? Because like, when is there ever going to be a deck that you build that your soul is just going to run one of each? I mean, maybe in Joda. I mean, you could.
I actually do only run about one of each basic land in Joda because I run a lot of dual lands, I run a lot of shock lands and stuff like that. But I mean, still, like, why there's minimal, very minimal formats where you're gonna run just one basic land, and you're telling me like especially like someone like I have a lot of uniform that I like with my stuff, and maybe that's my tism, or maybe it's just like how I am, like because as I've like come to like grips with my autism and stuff like a little more over the last couple years. I I've noticed that I liked if I'm running lands, I want them all to be the same. Like if I'm running all the basic lands, I want them all to be the same foil full art lands. I'm not spending that kind of money even though it looks good. Like I'm not. Like because I was telling him there's a of course like they did the sign lands, so they did like Capricorn, Aries, Sagittarius, and stuff like that. Your Aries mountains to get a foil set on TCG now, like granted it's not a set they do anymore, so it is going to be a little higher. Than it's $100 for 5 mountains.
No way. Nope.
No, and that no, and that's literally. I was like, they don't even look that good, and two, like, no, no, I'm not doing it. If the only land secret layer, and I was telling him the only land secret layer I'd buy, give me some like OG dual land vibes. Like give me like some like reskinned OG dual lands, and charge me $100 for it, because that's still going to be cheaper than trying to buy 5 jewel lands.
Exactly.
Like give me secret layers need to be worth it, and like if you're into the art and you feel like the art alone is worth it for you, cool. I'm not going to judge you on that, but for me personally at least, like not only does the art have to be like somewhat decent for a secret layer, but if you're charging me $50 for something, like
You better be there.
I need to know that my value's there. Like the Daily Bugle one for Spider-Man, those look cool, but that's like $10 in cards.
Yeah. I
At
end up buying those just because I
at
like
most,
how it look.
and that's completely fine, because like you said, you bought them because you liked how they looked. That's completely fine, and I think you were justified in doing so. Like for me, I need to at least have some sort of value there, and like I need to know that I'm getting a good deal out of it, because I wasn't so hard hit on those arts that I had to have that specific impact trimmers or that specific one. You know, I was comfortable that I could go get a different one if I wanted it. So, but there was one secret layer a while back that I picked up. I think it was the tragic romance. Like the value wasn't there for me for the tragic romance, but that art was so beautiful that I had to have it. So I picked
Aren't they
it up.
double-sided too?
No,
No?
they weren't. They all told a story though. They were all like pictures from the same storyline in a sense.
Okay.
But it was well worth it to me to pick that one up, even though the value wasn't technically there. Now the value ended up being there in resale. Like when I decided to break that deck down and trade some stuff in, you know, that went from being a 90, you know, a $40 investment to the one Kalia at the time of me trading her into my LGS to buy some other cards. She was like $90.
Yeah.
So I mean, like, if the value's there, the value's there. But it's all about preference at the end of the day, and
Yeah,
I feel like they've picked some good IPs, but I also feel like that the way that they're handling this has just not been great.
yeah, I get that.
Um, welcome back.
Yes. Uh, Secret Layers. We've covered the pretty much first three episodes,
And
and I suppose now, if there's anything left that you would like to talk about before those, uh, content creation. How how have you been feeling about your content creation? What was it that made you want to take that step? Because you got to be semi consistent with it
you've
to
got
make it work,
you've got two content
right?
creators here that are chomping at the bits. Having someone of like, in our opinion, like we I never thought that we would have someone be willing to come on so early into our growth. You know what I'm saying? Like, because a lot of people from the outside in a lot of content creation, like, yeah, they're cool when you meet them and stuff like that, but like when it comes to being like, hey, would you mind collabing, would you want to do this, would you want to do this, they look at your numbers, and some of these guys are like, nah, we're good, we don't we want to collab with someone that's like on our level and stuff like that. And I just want to say, like, it's really appreciative to us, I know for a fact, because like, one, my YouTube has like 28 subscribers, but my TikTok has like 400. But I've been pushing myself to grow and trying to keep myself consistent. The only hiccup I've had was being in the hospital. Like, I'm literally, once we get done with everything, about to flip, and if we play a game today, which I think we should have time for at least one. You think, Dan?
Maybe.
But if anything, like, I've got my setup to record my deck tech videos. Um, but like, it's just really appreciative of us, like, to have you like be willing to take time out of your day and like spend it with us and like do some content with us. Like we're
Well, I
we're
mean,
honored.
yeah, well, for me, man, we're in the same we're on the same playing field. Like numbers are numbers. They're there. They kind of show your growth and what you've built and things like that. But we're chasing like the same like goal, and I appreciate y'all having me. I mean, especially as the first, it's like I look at myself. I'm just a guy. I decided to make content on Magic, man. I enjoy it. I enjoy the game. I enjoy people. I enjoy people's views on deck text, cards, all that stuff, right? And I think for me, like the content side of thing is like it was scary. It was very scary for me as I got jerseys and stuff hanging in my room. I was a college football player. Um, Almost made it to the league. Had a lot of things happen that didn't get me there. Um, but like the content thing, like scratches that itch for me again, almost like me being on the football field. It like just gives me that just that urge to be better at it and do more with it and bring more people in and build my own like my tribe and community. And I mean, what you guys are doing is big. Like takes a lot of like trust and faith in yourself to like put yourself out there, regardless of what your numbers look like, and doing what you're doing and being consistent with it. And I think a lot of times the content creation side, we get stuck on numbers a lot. And I know for me, like whenever I first talk to some like bigger creators and numbers, and I'm like, yo, there's no way I can even be in the same like room with them. But then I had to get to the point like, yo, it doesn't really matter, right? Because at some point they started at zero,
Mm-hmm.
I started at zero, you guys started at zero, and like 28 subscribers on YouTube, that's better than zero. You're doing what you need to do, just like your TikTok.
Yeah.
Where you're at right now with TikTok, you're doing what you need to do. I
Yeah.
think the biggest thing we just have to just stay on it, stay the track, take it all day by day, and yeah, man, it's the best thing to happen for me, like in a long time, creating content because I never ever thought that like yo I'd be on TikTok creating content about Magic. Like me, no way. Um, and I've always had a lot of respect for people that do make like quality content, and it's growing and people are interacting, and I'd get in my head like, yo, I'm not built for this. I should be, because I honestly I used to get a lot of comments like start off with like I should be on a football field somewhere. I should be in the weight room lifting weights instead of Magic. And I'm like, yo, I've done that. I've done all of that before, and I'm like, I love this game. I love talking and meeting people like you guys. Like we've been sitting here what 2 hours, like
Yeah,
going on
we're
two,
going on
so
too. Yeah.
yeah. And I'm like, yo, you know, it's I know I'm going off on a rant. But I'm more just kind of like spilling spilling my feelings out.
That's how all of us
Right.
are, which is why
Yeah.
which is why we think, me and him were talking about it the other day. He's like, dude, we really have something here. He's like,
Yes.
we vibe well, we communicate well. Like literally, I was at work the other day, and it was like I got out of the hospital at 8 a.m. on Saturday, and was already back at work.
Yep.
I'm a restaurant manager, so I mean, work never sleeps. And like I'm literally at work finishing up my paperwork, doing some stuff with some people, on the phone with him, earbuds in, talking about game planning, what we're doing, when we're gonna do it. And the right before I went into the hospital, we were talking about guests and who we, the big goals, like, and everything. And I'm like, who would be a good first guest? And I'm like, immediately, like, we both like chimed in almost the exact same time. We're like, Coop, because you're the first person I met there, when you were sitting down and playing with Dan. And even that little short interaction we had at that time, because I was running back and forth trying to get as much as I could done. Even that short interaction like had an impact on me, and I was like, yeah, this guy's something. Like I want to do more with this guy. I like this guy. And just you're all around, just your content, how you are with people. Like it's inspiring to say the least. And it keeps me focused. And I Dan, I promise you, it's gonna sound like I'm like snitching on Dan for fangirling, but
Yeah.
this motherfucker wouldn't shut up about you. Like after meeting you that day, like, and I'm like having that impact on somebody, like it says a lot. And coming
I
from
appreciate that.
and coming from someone who doesn't like meeting new people and everything like that, like, and mainly that's just my aversion to change. And
Yeah.
it's one of those things I've struggled with my my autism and everything else. And it's definitely nice, this whole community as a whole, how welcoming and how just open everyone is. Because when I met with Jack Patillo, that, like, who's, I mean, did you ever watch like Rooster Teeth at all? Like,
I did.
so yeah, so he was part of Achievement Hunters. He was one of the voice actors for Red versus Blue. He had a part
I love
in
Red Blue.
he had a part in Ruby as well. Dude is a all around like amazing content creator. He's huge too. Like, I mean, like,
Yeah.
he's a massive like content creator. He was one of the heads of Rooster Teeth. Like the
Yeah.
fact that, like, when I sat with him for like a second, like, me and one of my other guys noticed him, and we were like, "Hey, you're Jack, right?" And he's like, "Yeah." And he was like, "You know what? Can we talk?" And that was Jack. Jack was like, "Can we talk? Can we hang out?" And I'm like, "You know what? You're asking me, like, in my eyes, like a nobody, to step away with you over here." And we spent like 30 minutes just hanging out.
Yeah.
And then he goes, like, we hadn't asked for pictures or nothing. He goes, "Hey, do you mind signing a card for me?"
Yeah.
And he had me and my buddy sign cards for his deck that he's building that's going to be basically people he met at MagicCon, other content creators and stuff. The entire deck is signed.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And then he was like, "Do you want a picture? Do you want to, do you want an autograph?" He asked us what our favorite colors were. He found lands in his stuff and signed them for us. Like how welcoming this community has been, especially like for me, and like trying to push myself to experience new things and push myself to grow as a not only a human being but as a content creator.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's been a blessing, dude. Like it has been an
definitely.
absolute blessing. And
Definitely.
I have Dan to thank a lot for pushing me. I have a lot of my friends at my LGS for pushing me into doing this kind of content and stuff. And now that we have you here, it's been awesome, man. Like, and now look, Dan's crying. Like he's so like overcome with joy.
Chinese lady kept my debit card.
Oh, no.
The Chinese people just called back and was like, "Your debit card is still here at the restaurant."
You need that back.
Did y'all go to? Cause y'all are, I'm not gonna say where and stuff, but y'all are near me.
Yes.
Did y'all go closer to like Big Lots, or did y'all go?
Which one did you go to?
Fun. Yeah, that way. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. So, in case you didn't know, Coop, Dan lives within walking distance of me. So,
Nice.
so like for us to be in that same kind of area, it's kind of nice.
And we're a state apart, right?
I think so. I will say I will say what state I'm in.
Yeah.
Because the state is big enough to not have to worry. We're in North Carolina.
Okay, yeah, so I'm in South Carolina.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I'm right here pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I used to work in Ballantine of North Carolina. So I would be literally I could look outside and see like Carowinds and like see like Rock Hill and like Fort Mill and stuff. So it was so like we spent a lot of time going in between north and south. So I mean but I live nowhere close to that now. I moved so fucking far away from like the Charlotte area. I couldn't take it, dude. Like Charlotte, North Carolina is not the place to be.
It's real busy.
Dude, busy and
Really
just like there's nothing like me stepping outside the back of my apartment and watching cops chasing someone.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
not a fan.
I grew up in that environment. I'm from Massachusetts.
Oh,
So yeah, I grew up around.
my wife
a
is
lot.
from Massachusetts.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I grew up in Dorchester.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I think that's pretty close to where her family is right now. So her family, my father-in-law is a traveling surgical technician, so he gets to bounce everywhere. So
I thought you said your father was with a traveling circus. I was like, what? What?
no. So my entire family is either both in-law and like blood and step. So like is in one of two fields. They are either in the medical field or in the military.
Okay.
And I'm the first one out of my biological father's side of the family. I'm the first boy not to go into the military.
Nice.
Sorry about
So
this.
and my
Trent.
dude, my dad was like, he's like, I'm so glad you didn't do it, because he's now retired. He did 2 tours in Iraq. He's the one that got me into Magic.
Nice.
Because he said, and I quote, when we were over there in Afghanistan, spades got really boring.
Yeah.
We had to do something,
Yeah.
so we played Magic.
That's all right.
And like he's still got stuff. I was helping him go through his stuff. He's still got some stuff from Alpha and Beta. And once we find more of the stuff, we'll talk, Dan. But once we find more of his stuff, because he says he thinks he gave it to my sister's husband, because he was really big into Magic, and at that time me and my father were estranged. So, but if I find an Alpha Black Lotus in his stuff,
Darn the way to go.
I'm retiring.
Back it up.
I'm retiring. Because if it's a Beckett 10, it sells for millions. Like, it's insane.
Fingers are crossed for you.
Yeah,
Fingers are crossed.
me too. But I've been looking through his stuff for about a year now, and not found anything really like crazy value. Like most of the alpha stuff's been basic lands, which is still like, you know, they're like 25, $30 a piece. Like it's still not crazy bad, but like it's not your big hits. So and that's what me and him are mainly looking for, is like his like big hit stuff, if he still has it or not, or if he ever had it in general. So but yeah, man. Well, you got anything else, Dan?
I was basically just gonna have Coop ramble about just
Content.
not necessarily content, but like I should have done it at the beginning and just had you talk a bit about yourself, about your experiences. Like, what was the very first thing that got you into Magic? Like mine was, I came up here to hang out with my now wife, and her college friend was playing Magic. I had played Yu-Gi-Oh before, but I had quit playing in high school, and I was like, okay, this is another card game. I can get behind it.
Yeah.
Went out, played with her and their decks, and then went to the LGS that they told me about. Bought one of like the 60 card precons that were at the time. It was for Eldritch Moon. They came with the 2 booster packs. I opened it up at the store. The very first card that I ever pulled was Emrakul the Promised End. I didn't know what the fuck it was. The LGS owner was like, "Oh my god, it's Emrakul," and I was like,
Yeah.
"What is that?" And they were like, "She's banned in standard." And I was like, "What standard? Okay, whatever. All right." She was like, "You can't play it in tournaments, but you can put it in your deck and play with your friends." And I was like, "Okay." And then it just kind of trickled uphill.
Yeah.
So like, what was your what brought you in the first place?
So for me, it was I grew up in a rough area. I moved down south when I was around like 14. Um, I've been an athlete my whole life. That's really all I knew. Um, I had the occasional Sega. I'm Team Sega. You know, Sonic, Crash Bandicoot, things like that. Um, my best friend, my god brother, he used to collect Pokemon, and I didn't know anything about Pokemon or anything like that. So it first kind of started with like collecting Pokemon and things like that, and then ended up going somewhere and getting these Magic cards. And I remember me and him sitting on his floor in his room, and he built like a mono green deck for me. I remember Pulse of the Tangle is one of the cards I remember in the deck, and Saber Ants is one of the cards that I remember. And it was a long time ago, but he taught me how to play, and I was like, this is too much for me. I'm never gonna figure this out. And we kind of just made our own rules playing the game. Years go by, and one of our local LGSs, um, I started playing standard. I was always big into like either is it or Simic colors. It was always that's all that I would play. And but Magic wasn't really like my main game then. I learned how to play Dragon Ball Z back when it was Score Dragon Ball. Um, did a few tournaments with Score, DBZ, played the Panini version of Dragon Ball Z. Played in a few tournaments, made some top eights, things like that. And I kind of just like put Magic away, kind of just forgot about it. Um, this is like my second stint of playing Commander. Um, I know this time I'm not going anywhere. I think I'm just gonna play Magic the rest of my life and never pick up another card game. But yeah, Magic started for me like just in my best friend's room, like sitting on his floor. Um, it just gave me something else to do outside of like being an athlete. I think it was one of those things that I honestly liked. Realized that I could be more than just an athlete. Um, because honestly, that was all I kind of identified as. That's how people knew me. Oh, that's Coop. He's a football player. He runs track. He plays basketball. you know, in the weight room, weightlifting team, things like that. And that's kind of how like I spun back on this like now when it comes to like content, um, because with me being, I don't want to say retired, but I'm currently not playing any sports right now. Um, I kind of got lost. Like I didn't know like what else I could be outside of like you know being a dad and things like that. But like my identity for myself, I'm like yo, I don't even know who I am because I'm used to being set thing for so long. Um, you know, magic was always something that I kind of like dived in and out of, but I've always like loved it and picked it back up. Uh, put it in mind a couple years ago, and I was like, yo, I think we're like in it because we started off and we were building some bad decks. They were terrible. And I look at some of my list on Moxfield. I think I'm gonna do a video on some of my decks like that I just came back to on Moxfield.
Yeah.
Oh, they're trash. I may get laughed at in the comment. But it's just kind of one of those things that like gave me some real like some growth. Like the challenge that I always need. I love like the challenge of like doing something different or new. And I know Magic is one game that will always give you some type of challenge or always something new that you can try to figure out.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's definitely helped me kind of uh, pull myself back together because if you've done anything for X amount of years and it's kind of been your identity, once you like pull away from it, you're lost. Like you don't know what to do. Um, but like outside of Magic, I train athletes as well. I work full time job. I'm a dad. That's fun. Keeps me busy. Um, but yeah, um, yeah, the content creator side of things is cool. I'm enjoying it a lot. It's really helped me become like a better person and like even building like confidence in myself. And that's coming from like a person that's you know I've broken records in my high school that still stand at almost 20 years ago. I've done a lot. I've done a lot in like my short tenure of life, but it's like you know this has pushed me somewhere that I knew that I needed to go at some point,
Mm-hmm.
like being able to be more social and being creative and trusting in, you know, like even like the words that I say, being more expressive with my feelings. All these things have literally come from like magic, opening a pack, scrolling through my binders, talking about a card, talking with people like you guys. And I'm like, yo, like there was a lot more that, you know, than I thought outside of like strapping my cleats on and running around on the football field or throwing around heavy weights in the gym. It's like, especially doing the content thing and people like interacting and telling me like they like my stuff and they like, you know, my approach to things. I'm like, yo, it gives you uh, like a new outlook of like a lot of times we feel like we box ourselves in. Like we feel like we just have this box and we can't go outside the box because that's just who we are. And it's like, yo, there's a lot more room in the box than we think. And it's like just taking the chance to see like what you're made of. Because the worst thing you can do is like not try at all. And trust me, I've been to that point. You'd be like, yo, I'm never doing content. Or once I start, I'm like, I'm never doing content creation again. But why not? Like, why would I box myself in to the point that I wouldn't even try to see what I'm made of in a space? Um, once again, long ramble. But yeah, the content creation thing is like literally like lit like a flame in me. It's like, yo, there's no way that one I'm gonna stop doing this, or no way that I can't be like successful at this because it's just too much room to everyone can have a piece of this pie. And I used to have this thing of like, I watch Brian Kibler, I'd watch, I'd watch all these YouTube channels. I'm like, yo, there's no way I can toe to toe in this space. But then I'm like, yo, you know what? Especially after MagicCon, I'm like, man,
Sky's
we're
the
gonna find
limit.
out.
Yeah, sky's the
Yeah, we're
limit,
gonna
dude.
find out what I'm made of. Yeah, and that's just the thing for you two. Like, regardless of times that y'all might feel like things might get stagnant or stale, or you like question yourself. Like, it's cool, question yourself, but just do not, don't fucking stop. Like, you just don't know what's around the corner when you make that extra piece of content, that extra TikTok, write that extra script, you know, that next podcast episode. You just don't know. Like, biggest advice I can give to you and myself and anybody like listening to this, you'll have all the confidence in the world in yourself. Even if it seems like you're being cocky, you know what you're trying to do, you know the type of work you're trying to do, and if it looks cocky to someone else, so be it. But you know what you stand for. Like, you know who you are, you know what you're capable of, and you know what you're trying to do. So, episode at a time, video at a time, just take it all a day by day. Don't be afraid to like push and challenge yourself, and it's all gonna work out. We all gonna get a piece of it, and
Hmm.
look back on this episode like, yo, I remember when we were talking about this,
And look at
you
us
know, on
now.
a Tuesday. Yeah, and it's like, yo, look at us now. You know, and that look at us now moment might look different from you to Dan to me, but it's like the whole process of it all. It's like, yo, you have to keep going. You can't, don't question yourself.
Yeah.
Like, you come up with the idea, go for it. You come up with the deck video, go for it. The worst they can do is like blah, right? Who
Hmm.
cares, right? But you know you put the work in, right? So it doesn't really matter.
Right.
But yep, ran over. I'm done. I get
Well,
preachy sometimes.
well,
I don't know what gets in me sometimes.
well. Before we end this episode, you are our first guest. So I didn't tell Dan I was going to be doing this. So I have a little bit of a gift for you for being our first guest. You said a card earlier that really was part of your first deck you ever had built for you and stuff like that. So I have in my cart right now, and we can figure out how it's going to get to you in a little bit. I have a foil lightly played saber ants from Mercadia Max. Or
Man,
Mercadian Masks, like the original printing of it from Mercadian Masks, sitting in my cart, ready to go. We'll just got to figure out how we're gonna get it to you, and it's done.
dope.
It's I know it's not like crazy, but it's something that I know would be sentimental to you because it's one of
Definitely.
the first decks you built, and it's that retro border. It's that retro green border. It's in foil.
Yeah.
Because I was looking at some of the non foils and I'm like, oh, all these dudes have heavy play and damage. This is not
Yeah.
going to do. So, so I've got it. I've got it ready to go. Once we end the podcast, obviously, that way no information or anything gets leaked. We'll get this. We'll get it shipped out to you. Just a
I
little
appreciate
little
that.
token of our gratitude for you taking time out of your day. And like I said, I wanted to find something. I've been listening in, like a little extra to everything you've been saying, trying to see if there was something you were gonna say that would be like, there, that one.
Yeah.
And when you were talking about your first ever, your mono green deck, I was like, you know what, that sounds like the one.
I appreciate that. Thank y'all. Thank y'all. Most definitely.
Do you have anything you want to say, Dan? Any final parting words?
I don't think so. I think this was good. I think the thing is like I've been really putting a lot of thought into this, and I
Mm-hmm.
think one of the reasons why I wanted to get you on as one of the first guests is because the flavor of this podcast, it's literally just us kind of discussing it, and it's like it's a real down to earth experience. You're not a character. You're not putting on like a face or a front or sticking to a script or something. It's all raw. It's all just
It's
It is what it is.
it's unedited to the fact of I think, and honestly, I was going to talk to you about this earlier. I don't know if there's really any pictures we need to put into the Secret Layers one or the Universes Beyond, because like it's just it was mainly a big one of us ranting. So there's not. I honestly don't know if there's a lot of editing we need to do to that one. I can probably get that one up today. I honestly might just do a raw upload of it, just because there's not a lot of editing to it. And I think the only things like we've been editing into our videos lately is if we're prominently talking about a specific card. If it's like a big part of a discussion, like for this episode when we talked about Kennen, I'll probably pop Kennen up. But like that's all I've been doing is literally popping the card up, so whoever may not know what that card is can have a physical view of it. But I feel like with Universes Beyond, there's no way these guys don't know what we're talking about.
Yeah.
It's a commonly known card. It's very easily able to be flipped into that. Like I'll still probably go through, and if there's something that we sit there and have a tangent on, I'll probably throw something on it. But it's definitely been a struggle these last few days. So, and I feel bad that like we're usually uploading one a week, and today's like my only like other real day off. So I'm like trying to push myself to like still give some good content, but still get something uploaded. You know what I mean? But it's I lost track of where I was going with that. So
Just
rant over.
Yeah, I think we're good. If if you guys want to do your like little find where to find you, like you said, you're on TikTok as coopmtg, and you're on YouTube as coopmtg.
Yep.
Right?
And what I'll do is anytime that you've said that or anything, it's gonna pop up on the screen. It's gonna be very easy for them to like visualize it, see it, and go. And I'll grab some. What I'm gonna start doing, especially like for Coop, I'm gonna grab some links and put them in the description. So which I haven't been doing for either my stuff or your stuff. So there's room for improvement right there.
It's that curve, that learning curve.
Yeah.
One, like you said, one piece of content at a time.
Oh, dude. Step. Yeah, and if you ever go back and watch like episode 2, I think, of our podcast, Coop, that's the first video I've ever edited.
Nice.
So
how do you enjoy editing? We can talk about that after we're done.
He had a guy. I got so excited for a second because he said he had a guy that was like, oh, I know a guy that does editing and da da da. I was like, oh, you found us an editor, thank God. And then he goes, yeah, he's gonna review and tell us what we can improve on. I was like, fuck me, like, no, because I was like, I was really excited. Oh.
I can get up with him, and if you want. Because I didn't take it any further other than like that, because I wasn't sure if like you specifically wanted to edit it a certain way.
Fuck no.
Okay, then I will get up with him and ask him if he'd be willing to like edit.
What is
this
price?
One or the other one?
Yeah,
and what his prices were.
Yeah, because I mean, it would definitely with me live streaming, and we'll talk about that later. But with everything else I'm doing outside of this, like. Taking a slight bit off of my plate, like you're already doing with helping me get clips, it's going to make it so much easier and so less stressful for me to be able to complete my entire array of tasks that I need to do. But Coop, thank you again for taking the time out of your day to hang out with us and chat about all things Magic. Dan, of course, it's always a pleasure having you with me as my co-host. And to everyone out there watching it, please like, subscribe, go follow Coop, give him some love, like all of his stuff. If he ever goes live on TikTok, first person to throw him a Galaxy, I'll match it. And I've got the coins sitting and waiting. So we love to create content with everyone that we possibly can. So if you're a content creator, big or small, you want to get in on this, reach out. and we'll see what we can fit in, because we try to plan episodes out a few episodes ahead. But again, thank you guys for tuning in and watching this episode, and we'll catch you on the next one. Have a good day. Play some more Magic. Support your local LGSs. Have a good one, guys. Peace out.